Hey guys, you know what? I love goji berries. I love to take these dried ones that we buy at the health food store, and I love to put them in smoothies, and sometimes I'll just eat them like they are. But you know what? These stinking things are expensive. At our local health food store, they're 25 bucks a pound. Now, okay, that might, well, it would take a lot to make a pound. I bought a bag here, about a quarter of this bag, and it ended up being about 4 bucks or 5 bucks. So it's about a quarter of a pound I bought. But even then, that's really expensive. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to grow my own. So what I did was I went down and got some more of these dried goji berries. They're basically shriveled up and dried like a raisin. And now each one of these has about 15 or so seeds in it. So what I have to do is get the seeds out of it. Now if you ever tried to like split open a raisin, all it is like really sticky inside and it's just gunk. So the only way that you can really get these seeds out easily is to hydrate them, bring them back to life. And so, well, not back to life, but you know what I'm saying, bring them back to like original size. So I went and I took about a dozen of them and I put them in water and I let them sit overnight. I'll bring you in closer and I'll show you what they look like now. And then what I'm going to do is basically take each one of the berries and just roll it in my fingers and it'll extract the seeds, and I'll show you that too. But I had never considered growing these myself because I don't know why. I just never thought about it. But it just kind of, I had this epiphany or this revelation that, you know what, why should I spend so much money on these? Like every couple months buy a bag when I can just grow my own. And then when I started researching these, I was blown away at how healthy these really are. I mean, I've always known that they were good for you, but I never knew how healthy they were. So I wrote it down on a piece of paper. I have to write it on paper because of my older brain doesn't hold on to stuff. It goes in one and then out the other. But no, that's actually been going on for my whole life, actually. But anyways, I wrote it down, a lot of the things. I went out to this site and I was blown away at the benefits of the goji berry. It says it's the most nutritionally dense food on earth, contains all essential amino acids, it's got the highest concentration of protein of any fruit. That blew my mind right away. I'm like, wow, really? That's incredible. It's loaded with vitamin C, 21 trace minerals, high in fiber. Oh, and get this, it has 15 times the amount of iron found in spinach. Who'da thunk? And so it is a member of the Solanaceae family, which means that it's a nightshade. So it's kind of related to the tomato. And no wonder I like them, because I love tomatoes. Anyways, I went ahead and yesterday I put some of these in water. So I'll bring you in and I'll show you what they look like. And then we're going to go ahead and extract the seeds, and then we will plant them. Alright? So I took about a dozen of these yummy morsels and I put them in water overnight. And here's what they look like. They're almost expanded to their original size. Now the way that you get the seeds out of this is you just take one of these and roll it in your fingers. Let me get this a little bit closer. And now let me see if I can zoom in here. Okay, and then you just roll this in your fingers and you'll notice that the seeds kind of come right out. That wasn't a good example. Let me try another one. Like this. Let me show you. There, you see these seeds? Just like that. There, like that. And then you just dip your fingers back into the water and they come right off. So I'll do each one of these like that, and you just kind of rinse off that flesh. The seeds fall right off. Let me get you in a little bit closer. Like this. So you just squeeze it and look at all those seeds. You dip your fingers back in and all the seeds are gone. I hope you can see that on the camera. It's really bright in the greenhouse, so I can't really see the LCD on the camera too well. So you just take them in your fingers like that. Twist them. Look at those seeds just pop right out. Dip your fingers back in the water and off the seeds come, and you just pitch that flesh away. I mean, you could eat that flesh, but I'm not that desperate. I'm going to have hundreds of plants. Well, I'm not going to. I could have hundreds of plants. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of these, and then I'm not going to bore you to death with watching me do all of these. So then I'll come back after I do these. Okay, so that only took a couple minutes. Now you'll notice that a lot of the seeds that are on top that are floating, those are going to be bad seeds, so you're going to want to scoop those out. And all the viable good seeds sank to the bottom. I'll try to give you a shot of that. So I'm going to go ahead and take a spoon and scoop off all these. I'm going to pour the water out. I'm going to pour water back in, swish it around, and see if any more of them float. And I'll just keep pouring it off until I've got only viable seeds in there. So let me try to get a shot of underneath this thing so you can see all the good seeds. Okay, so hopefully you can see that all those good seeds right there have sunk to the bottom. And those are going to be the ones that I want to save, okay? Okay, so in the interest of saving time, I've already done the process I'm talking about by pouring the water off, cleaning up the seeds, and seeing if any more float. And then what I've done is I've taken them, let's speed forward into the future, and when I was done, I dumped them out onto a coated paper plate. I use a coated one because that way they won't stick to the plate and then I have to scrape them off. And once they dry, you just move them around like that and they just, see how easily they move on a plate. That's what they do when you're on a coated plate. That's what happens when they dry. And so they won't stick. So what we're going to do is go ahead and we're going to plant some of these and see if we can come up with our own goji plants, alright? Okay, so now since I've got like a billion seeds, well, okay, I've got a few hundred seeds. I'm not too worried about planting too many. So what I'm going to do is I've just got some regular potting mix that I use. It's mostly compost from my compost pile. So I'm just going to bury these they're not going to be very deep at all. And I'm just going to scatter them around like 2 or 3 per hole. I'll make probably 3 holes. And what you can do is with these, you can, once they start to grow, you can pull them up by the roots and then transplant them somewhere else. So even if I get 10 seedlings in here, if I get them before they start tangling together, the roots start tangling together, then I can easily transplant them. So I'm not worried about, and I can sacrifice a bunch of seeds. Look how many of these things I have just from like a dozen fruits. So I'm not worried about wasting some. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to water this really good. Keep it moist. I'm going to put it under a grow dome and keep the temperatures between 70 and 75 degrees. I could get up to 80, but I want to keep them nice and warm and keep them humid until they start to sprout. I'm guessing within a week I should be getting some goji berry bushes, alright? So when that happens, I'll give you an update video on this, and I'm pretty confident that it's going to work out just fine. So anyways, growing the store-bought goji berry seeds. Alright? Well, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch y'all later.